I think that the impact of the Society for Women's Health Research has been in two different areas. One is the making awareness that women's health is critically dependent on the research that we gather in how men and women respond to medications differently. That can't be overestimated. There's another area which I think is probably as important, if not more important, for the long term. And that is the study of sex differences as a biological variable. To me, this is something that I've thought about literally my entire life, minus 4 years. When I was about 4, I asked my father, why were there two sexes? But I didn't say it that way. I probably said, why are boys and girls different, or whatever you ask at that age. And I think that's the first scientific question that any kid asks.
I became interested in women's health research because I learned that 2/3 of the world's blind people are women. The society is the only voice that I initially heard when I became interested in sex differences. That was so gratifying to say, oh, somebody is looking at this.
The society has been extremely influential when it comes to both the conduct of research and the priority of research, but also pairing that with true meaningful policy change over the last 35 years. We were able to highlight not just the need for more research into issues that differently, disproportionately, or uniquely impact women, but also sex differences research. That men and women are different, and we were able to get researchers to truly understand that, but also to integrate that back into the research that they're conducting. So it's standard now to make sure that you're considering things like sex differences. There's an organization for the study of sex differences that we founded.
Foundational efforts at SWHR around the importance of looking at sex differences and how diseases show up in men and women differently were among the earliest voices around the importance of sex differences. And I think that played a key role in laying the groundwork for sex as a biological variable, or SABV policy. As an advocacy organization, as an educational organization, disseminating information about the importance of sex differences and how that plays out in the health of women, it has made SABV alive and demonstrated its impact for women.
I was somebody who had studied biology, worked in personalized medicine, worked on policy and communications issues, but I didn't understand that women and men are different at the cellular level and how that impacts so much research. I didn't know that Alzheimer's and autoimmune disproportionately impacted women. I did not know that diseases like cardiovascular disease and heart disease present so differently in women. This organization is critical to this day for helping everyone, policymakers, the public, researchers, helping us all understand and realize that we need to do much more research on women's health.
SWHR has always been so grounded in not just the science, but taking the science and making that science relatable and understandable to policymakers. Over the past year to 2 years, we've really seen SWHR engage with policymakers at the highest level here in Washington, D.C., and really have had some great success in elevating a national women's health agenda. Seeing SWHR's real leadership in that space, ensuring that as women's health is continued to be made a priority at the federal level, that the science but also the access and the policy are really reflected across that agenda.